Ladies and gentlemen, live from hangars on Lake Maud in Audubon, Minnesota, it's episode 6 of the Trigger Warning Fun Time Show. Featuring yours truly, Scratch Masterson.
And I'm Babyface Nelson.
I'm Burrito Supreme.
I'm Superfan Ozzy.
And I'm Jack Spade.
And wow, this is odd for us being live. What a great crowd we've got out here. Thanks so much to Harriet Honeybags Gunderson and her husband Lyle Gunderson, owners and proprietors of Hangars. And an interesting factoid, this place used to be a supper club here on Lake Maud, and they got their hands on it, turned it into one of the home of the largest breasts in the upper Midwest.
And I tell you, it absolutely shows. I see nothing but huge breasts all around me.
Their soap dispenser in the bathroom is actually a pair of titties. It's fun. It's fun to wash your hands. For once, I wash my hands after using the bathroom.
You gotta be careful if you take a baby in there, though. They might try and feed.
Exactly. So you guys are we come into this podcast with Burrito and Babyface probably being more tired than any other podcast we've been on.
You betcha.
So we'll explain.
More tired, but less hungover.
Explain, starting with what? Going and seeing David Cross yesterday?
No. We start by saying that I went to your house and did manual labor all day yesterday.
Yeah.
Demo work is fun.
Friday, I was up until like 2 a.m. and then I did a walk on Saturday morning. So
And not of shame, a charity walk.
Like a charity walk, which is rare for me, but I did 4 miles, and then so that kicked my day off at 8 a.m.
I was up earlier than that
Yeah.
to get over to Scratch's house, but that's no big deal.
Okay.
I'm
Whatever.
not trying to make
come
myself
over-
sound better.
And you work like a dog.
Work like a dog. I get home. I ate a giant bowl of chicken tikka masala, which is a bad idea. And then we went and saw David Cross, who was amazing.
Oh, bravo,
David Cross.
David Cross.
He had some great material about Fargo that he had written. He did some impromptu stuff. He had wonderful political stuff. It was one of those shows where you left and you couldn't remember your favorite line because everything was just hit.
His delivery is so amazing.
So
it
good.
doesn't even feel like he's telling you jokes. It feels like he's having a conversation with himself that you're listening to.
And you're privy to. So
Yeah.
what time did that show wrap up at?
To 9, like 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
And so we got I got home about 10 o'clock, took a little tiny nap, and then we made our way at about 12:45.
And I should point out that I did not go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
I instead
Awake.
stayed downtown and drank a couple Red Bull vodkas
Okay.
to really get me going.
And then we went to Lemoore, North Dakota, and performed for their post-prom party.
And this is your improv troupe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Now,
Britta's drunk at this point.
No, 2 vodka Red Bulls is not drunk. Plus, it's a 2-hour drive, so it's already all out of my system by the time we got there.
Did they have post-prom parties when you guys went to high school? Like a party after prom that the school provided to keep you out of,
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small town in northern Minnesota, so they actually didn't have anything like that. So it was kind of up to the students to plan their own post-prom shenanigans, and it was not sanctioned by the school whatsoever.
Yeah, and now there's such a common thing. How about you, Jack Spade?
I was in high school. I was more concerned with video games and being antisocial than actually going to a prom.
Did you go to prom?
No, I never went to a single
didn't?
time ever. No.
Oh, if there's a listener out there who needs a date for prom, I think we found our 13 going on 30 for you.
We got our wallflower. We had post-prom parties for us. It was to keep you out of trouble. But usually you went, you signed it, you made sure that all the parents and teachers saw you, and then you cut the fuck out of there and you went to your own party.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how ours was.
This one, you walk in and all the tables are covered with this red and white striped material.
Like a carnival tent.
And it's like a carnival tent. I was gonna say a popcorn box. And they've got this giant mural hanging that's like a big top with like circus elephants and everything. And the theme is the greatest post prom on earth.
Oh, Lord.
And so I think, everything's going to be circus themed. Well, the second you walk out of that entrance foyer, they screw it, fuck it, we're not going to do this theme anymore. This is more work than it's worth. Just set up the things. They want the mini fridges. That's all these kids want are mini fridges for their dorms. And so, And so they get A for effort, but definitely a D minus for follow through.
The execution was not good. Huh?
Yeah.
Were they receptive to your improv show then?
They were.
They dug it.
It was a super fun show, which makes it much better when you're doing a show at 3:30 in the morning.
And what was the first thing that you asked Britta, Jack?
Oh, I was wondering if, like, when you do these post-prom shows, if Britta ever hooked up with anyone.
I said when I was younger. No, I've never hooked up with anybody on a post-prom show.
But really, in all honesty, the one she's going to hook up with is the single dad who's there volunteering for the night, who walks out and be like, you guys are the comedy. It's funny people. My name's Dale. I'm the best dancer of all his parents.
Well, if you guys need to wake up a little bit, make sure to grab some of those breasts over there. Hangers was recently barred from the big spring wing fling competition, so they got their own event happening right here. All through May, they're doing the Big Breast Fest, and they got the biggest, saggiest breast here. Grab yourself a pair of them.
I like to throw a little hot sauce on my breasts, and here I know they're not going to complain, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Ouch.
Scratch, now you've got a brand new book that you brought.
Well, yeah. Okay, so do you guys know
pictures?
Do you know who Kaz is at all? This guy, you're probably familiar with him because he's currently one of the writers on SpongeBob SquarePants, but he also wrote for Camp Lazlo and he wrote for Phineas and Ferb, but he has been doing this comic strip called Underworld. It is the most, if you want to read a fucked up comic strip, this is it right here. In fact, he started doing this in the early 90s. I became aware of it like around the late 90s, early 2000s. It's been in pretty much every alternative newspaper, and it's just a messed up, dark, funny comic strip, I guess.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, but this book came out called From Hoboken to Hollywood. It's like a 300-page book, and it's got every Kaz Underworld strip in it. It is so good. So if you want to read about Creep Rat and Mr. Panty Fog, some of the characters in it are so
Mr. Panty Fog. Yeah. All right.
Some of the characters are just, it's all so immoral, and it's such good fun.
It looks like it's like a messed up version of Popeye stabbing Mickey Mouse, like a bloated, like Ricky Mouse.
Yeah, well, he spoofs pretty much every character type there is.
Really?
So, yeah, Creep Rat is very much a Mickey Mouse type.
Sweet.
And are they all supposed to look like shaved scrotums?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
A lot of them resemble testicles.
Right. Okay. Wanted to throw that out there, make sure everyone knew that.
So this book has probably been out for a while, but I would seek it out if I were you and find it. It's Underworld from Hoboken to Hollywood, and it's a bit of a weighty purchase. But if you want to dive into Underworld, you should dive into the whole series right here. And there are some references to things like Phineas and Ferb and SpongeBob within, which I'm not sure if the actual if Disney or Nickelodeon approves of that, but what can they do, right?
Right. The book's already published. It's already in your hands, right?
Disney can sue the dick off you.
Right. Well, you must be in good standing with him since he writes for him.
So this last week, when Scratch, Burrito, and I were doing our day job, Burrito got sick, and luckily Jack was in the studio when Foghat called for an interview. But
was that
Jack,
lucky? Was it lucky?
Jack, why don't you tell him what you thought happened when Foghat, the band Foghat,
I believe the drummer.
Yeah, so the drummer from Foghat, not all of Foghat.
Yeah.
Like on
you
a
don't know.
conference
You
call.
don't know if they were waiting.
They very close. Yeah, okay. Fair point. So I'm in the studio after Burrito is off porking her guts out. Everyone else is out of the studio. I'm in here doing some stuff, and the phone rings. So the phone's ringing. I'm like, see who this is. It's like, hey, what's going on? And he's just like, oh, hello, good day, governor, or some such bullshit. And I was just like, hey, man, what's going on? Just getting the day started, this and that. And I'm just like, oh, right on. What can I do for you? I'm calling in. I'm here to talk to Burrito and Babyface and Scratch. I'm just like, about what? They're like, Moondance Jam. I was like, oh, right on. Got Moondance Jam coming up. Are you calling to get the hookup on tickets or something? I had no idea who this was. He was just like, I was just told to call in. I was like, hang on, let me go find someone. So I found Scratch in one of the other rooms. I'm like, hey, some Australian dude is on the other line asking about Moondance Jam tickets. And he's just like, tell him to call back. I'm like, right on. So I come back in here, I pick up the phone. I was just like, I was like, hey man, sorry they're not. I'm not finding them anywhere. Can I get your name and a number and I'll have them give you a call back? And he was just like, it's so and so from Foghat. I'm like, oh shit. Right on. Well, sorry. Love your music. You guys did Cold Blooded, right? No, shit. Well, I'll have them give you a call back. Chim chim shiroo.
Yeah, have a slow ride back to England.
I can't express my disappointment in Scratch and Babyface because they both knew about it, right? Like it was discussed. I even recall JJ writing it down in one of his calendars. Like,
oh, and here's the thing: I was sitting in our office
Babyface writing it down. Yeah,
and when Jack came in, he goes, "Hey, yeah, Foghat called." I thought to myself, why did I have to remember something about Foghat? There's something going on. And sure enough, on my calendar, but what I was really looking at is that day I got to judge a chili cook-off. And so I was really getting amped for that. So that was like the highlighted thing on my calendar, chili cook-off.
Yeah, you're like fool in the city, more like drool in the city for this delicious chili.
FYI, this chili cook-off was bunk because it was meatless chili. I found that out when I got there. Yes, right? I know.
Yeah. I mean,
Someone put celery in theirs.
Gross.
Well, if you want some good food, you ought to have one of the Sagwiches they have here at Hangers. Have you tried those yet?
Are they good?
There's so much meat on them, they're falling right out of the bun.
Really?
Yeah. The Sagwich. Plus, up until 10 o'clock tonight, half off on all their knee shooters, including the double bubble and the rippled nipple.
Oh, I'm excited. And just so everyone knows, so they've set us up with our own little private studio table in the middle of Hangers so that the patrons can enjoy listening to our show live.
Yeah, you guys having a good time so far? Yeah.
I think that guy's having way too good a time over there.
There's a little kid named Hunter over here. It's his Hunter's 6th birthday. Happy birthday, Hunter. Oh, yeah, well, you're welcome.
Are you familiar with their kids club that they have out here?
I'm not, yeah, it's the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, right?
It's the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee.
Oh, that's right.
Because it's a kitty club.
Oh, that's good.
And on their birthday, they have their balloon clown that comes out.
Good old Saggy Maggie, the balloon twisting clown. Maybe we can get her over before it's done, and she'll twist up some balloons.
Hey, do you like balloon shapes, kid?
Yeah, I love balloon shapes.
What's your favorite animal?
An elephant.
All right, well, we'll see if Saggy Maggie can't twist her old saggy balloons into an elephant for you. Should be a lot of fun. Now,
Elephant has a long trunk.
I heard that if you put 2 googly eyes on your cat's butt, it looks like an elephant with a tail.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Like a woolly mammoth.
It looks like a weird. No, it wouldn't.
I'm going to look it up on my phone and show it to you.
We should
But it doesn't have ears. It wouldn't have big elephant ears.
Well, sometimes they tuck them back, like if they're angry.
So we haven't done a show in a long time. In fact, the last show we did was episode 4, which we actually got a few comments on because it was kind of an inappropriate show.
Yeah.
So I think this time around, no talk about like butt play, swallowing jizz, incest, sucking, fucking, whatever.
None of that stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
In fact, I'm starting to get some looks from the wait staff. If we could maybe keep the just referencing to sucking, fucking, and all that other stuff.
Did anyone else's check clear from Thick and Quick Productions or?
Mine totally did. I bought a used waterbed.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Find you some used satin sheets if you're looking for some.
Sold. Done. I've got about $5.50 left.
Okay.
If you can make that work.
I'll see what I can do.
Your buddy was pretty excited you referenced him on the podcast, huh?
Yeah. When the question was, who would you rather have sex with, your best friend or? I don't even remember the last half of the question.
Lick your dad's dick.
Thank you, Burrito. Way to be on top of that one. But yeah, my answer immediately was my best friend, and 4 days later he hears the podcast and he's like, I knew I fucking loved you for a reason. I played that for my whore wife and she hated it and it was awesome.
Well, I don't know if you've seen this, but we've got quite a few dislike buttons on our YouTube page because of that episode. And I would just like to go out on a limb here and say that Babyface Nelson hears what you're saying, general public, and I will try my best to do better, and I will try to clean up my act. I know that a lot of people were very offended when I talked about that sex move I invented called the Mary Kate. And oh no, that wasn't this podcast. Never mind. That was something else. That was totally different.
Speaking of Fargo backlash, it just came out over the weekend that the guy from Property Brothers was in
Jonathan
town
Scott.
and got into a fight at Dempsey's.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if he got in a fight or not, but he called 911 and said he was assaulted by the bouncer there.
And there's like a photo of him being like in a headlock,
Yeah.
by one of the bouncers at Dempsey's.
That call was made at 1:57 a.m.
Yeah.
Also,
Now, my grandmother used to say nothing good comes after midnight or 1 in the morning for that matter. If you're out at 1:57 p.m.,
I mean, I think that your
yeah.
grandma is a liar because I've had some great things happen
well,
late into the night.
let's just say he was probably up to something.
Yeah.
Well, the story, as I to understand, as TMZ portrayed it, because TMZ did a story on Fargo. It's about time, TMZ. We have a lot of celebrities who come in here and get into the shenanigans. But so the bar, they were like, it's it, everyone out, because I don't know if you guys know this, but bars set their clocks ahead
Few minutes.
by a few minutes so that everyone's out by the time. I found this out years ago when I kept having to reset my watch every time I left the bar. I'm like, oh, why am I 5 minutes fast? And he wasn't leaving. He was like, no, we got a couple more minutes. Like, and it's 1:55. It's all right, dude. And he still had a drink and he's chatting with some people. I'm assuming some fans were there.
I'm sure it was a bunch of 20-something-year-old girls that were like, oh.
Now, see,
Can you get me on television?
Who
It's
gets
so
gooey over the
pretty.
dude from Property
Have you
Brothers?
That's what I was
seen?
gonna
Have
say.
you seen the dude from Property Brothers?
I didn't even know this was a
They're
thing.
both beautiful twin brothers.
But
okay,
Okay,
so
everyone
I
thought
don't
it
care
was
what
the
they
twin.
do. I don't care what they do on the show. They're beautiful people, and they're on TV.
So there were probably a couple gals getting their gadget all gooey over the
Yeah.
Property
Right.
Brothers, and they
like
didn't
I'm
want to
upset
leave.
that I wasn't there.
Right.
And so he got abrasive with the bouncer, and something happened. Whether or not somebody else started a fight, they're like, back off, man, this is Jonathan Scott from the Property Brothers, you don't know what you're dealing with. Or if he said something like, I could buy and sell you,
Right.
whatever it happened to be.
Obviously, he's a huge star.
Right, but he got put in a headlock and then thrown out of Dempsey's onto Broadway, and he immediately called 911 and he said he had been assaulted by a bouncer. There's an ongoing investigation, but if I know anything about the police in this town, they're just gonna sweep that one right under the mat.
What?
I can tell you this: like I've worked in bars in this town for like 10 years. Right around that time, everyone that doesn't want to go, they're like, "All right, you got to go. You got to go." Man, fuck you! I'm not going anywhere. Like a bouncer does not give a shit. They've been dealing with drunk assholes all
All
night.
day.
They don't care who
They
you
want
are.
you out so they can leave.
Yeah.
Like, this is my job, man, and I'm tired and I want to go home. I would be so upset if someone was keeping me from ending my work
Amen.
day.
Well,
Like,
and-
if someone wouldn't get out of someplace and I couldn't leave early, I would totally put people in a headlock.
You are making me wait to clean up your vomit.
I think our friend
going.
Shannon said it best. I saw she commented on the post with "Never be a dick at Dempsey's."
Yeah.
You know,
there
you're
you
gonna
go.
get what's coming to you.
Yeah,
you go.
didn't that used to be known as the Roofie Bar of Fargo?
And again, a quick reminder here at Hangers until 10 o'clock tonight, half off on all knee shooters, including the double bubble and the rippled nipple. And if you've never had that rippled nipple, oh boy.
Tits off.
Exactly.
I like mine with
Don't
extra
plan on
nipple.
driving home after that one.
Oh, you like yours with extra nipple?
Extra nipple in mine, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of nipples, who here's got a nipple ring? Yeah? Yeah?
Negative Ghost Rider.
No, only.
Burrito.
Yeah.
Now, Burrito, you're telling me that one of them has closed up a little bit, and so you can get a regular size like pin through, but you can't
Sure.
get anything with any like
I can
decent
get like
gauge.
the 22 gauge, but I cannot get a 14 gauge through it anymore. And it's unfortunate because I don't know if you know this, but it hurts to get your nipples pierced. And
What?
so, yeah, like a little bit, like a lot of it. And it's like a pain that lasts for a while it's healing. And like, I remember I got it done when I was still in high school, and I remember having to walk through the halls. Like, I got them both done, but walk through the halls with my arms up because I was afraid people would like bump into me, and like they just constantly throbbed. Like, so, but then I took them out, and they were out for like 3 years, and then I decided like, oh, I want to put them back in. We'll say that I was dating a guy for 3 years who did not like them.
Approve of that sort of thing.
Yeah, because that's something
He was
that
a Methodist.
yeah, no. But he said something to the extent that, like, that's like a, like your side chick has her nipples pierced. your regular girlfriend does not.
What is he, a member
whatever.
of Hell's Angels?
Yeah.
You go, beside mama.
But then, yeah, I can only get one in, and I can't get the other in, and I can't work up the gumption to go get it redone because it hurts. It's hurt the pain. Like, if I knew the pain it was going to be before I got them done the first time, I probably would have never been able to get them done because it was, it's that like shock pain.
So I can't get over the fact you were in high school when you did this?
Yeah, I was 18, but still
Okay.
in high school.
Did you go somewhere and have it done? Or
Yeah,
do it
no, I went
yourself,
somewhere
or-
and had it. I went to Addictions right here in Fargo and got them both done.
So this wasn't just a friend at a pajama party with an ice cube and a.
It wasn't Frenchie
no.
trying to practice her
Yeah,
beauty
yeah,
school
a
routine.
drunken moment. Hey, I should pierce my nipple.
I got a
Yeah.
safety pin and an ice cube. Let's go. Do we got anybody here at Hangers that can help Britta re-pierce this? No?
I had a roommate that I walked in on piercing his own dick once.
Oh, no.
Walked in the front door, and the way it was, like immediately as you turn right, you go down the hallway. There's the bathroom, and I walk in, and he was just kind of in the bathroom, doors open, standing in front of the mirror, just kind of hunched over. And I'm like, dude, are you okay? And he turns around, pants down, needle in dick. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, my Lord.
Why? Why?
He was an odd dude.
Also-
Is this the same friend from Would You Rather?
No.
Was
I
it
do
like
not.
the Prince Albert through the tip? Or like.
No, he was working on a ladder.
I do not
Okay.
understand that.
Okay.
Why would anybody do that?
I got another slippery nipple. These are really good. If you had,
They are good.
try one of those.
Got
But
yours-
yeah, just
Got
pierce
yours
his
in a
dick.
to-go cup somehow.
They like me here.
There are a lot of things out there I just don't understand. Like, for instance, if I were a young lady and your friend took me home and I saw that, I would be a little, I want less Black and Decker and more Pecker when it comes to a
here's the
wiener.
epilogue to that story. Like 4 days later, I'm like, dude, so how's that thing healing up? And he's like, after like 2 days, I got annoyed with it and took them all out.
Oh, what?
I was like, so you just poked 3 holes in your dick?
See,
took
now,
him out.
is he in jail now for murder?
No,
Because
he,
I feel like someone who can inflict that type of pain on themselves just willy-nilly has some psychotic tendencies.
Yeah, he was a bit odd. I think he's mellowed out in the last
okay.
decade or so. But yeah, odd dude. He also the same guy had the word pain tattooed on the inside of his lip, and then drank so much that night that the alcohol washed it away.
Oh, my Lord. This is all making me very
Is
uncomfortable.
this guy, this is for a friend. Is he single right now?
Yeah, I can hook you up.
What do you have tattooed on the inside of your lip?
Whoa.
What does it say?
It says JoJo.
JoJo.
Yeah, it's my.
Why those fries you can get at Dwayne's?
Yep. You just got throw them that, and here they come.
Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
it's Lip JoJo guy. Come on, get me the fryer. Let's go.
Double batch. Yep.
So when did you get that tattooed on your lip?
Probably about 6-7 years ago.
What is it?
It's JoJo. It's my wife's nickname.
It's your wife's nickname.
Yep.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yep.
Keeping your wife inside your mouth at
Yep,
all times.
all the time, baby. Mm-hmm. Yep.
tattoo of the Dwayne.
Does she have Ozzy tattooed on the inside of her
No,
mouth?
she does not. No, I
Have
have
you
a.
shown that to Dwayne's? Maybe you could.
Yeah,
get
I
some
might.
free
Hey, I
stuff.
should work that in. I get some free JoJo.
I get
Yeah.
some free JoJo's.
Only if
Look at
you
my
tap that, tattoo that on your lip. Done already.
To
Way
be
ahead
fair,
of you, brother.
To be fair, like if I could get PF Chang's orange peel chicken for free by tattooing orange peel chicken on the inside of my lip, I'd do that shit.
They would probably want you to tattoo Lettuce Entertainment, which is the name of the company that owns all of those, and then their corporate phone number, fax number, email address, and say, now hiring fun and flexible folks.
I might have to tramp stamp that one, but still, totally would.
I remember the first time being creeped out when I went to radio broadcasting school up in Thief River Falls. This girl up there who I did not know her. My cousin went to high school up in Thief River, and this girl was an underclassman, and she told him, "Hey, I think your cousin's really cute," talking about me. Next time I ran into her and he introduces me to her, she had carved my name on the inside of her arm, like carved it into her arm. I said, I do not think I'm going to go out with this girl.
So you're telling me that broadcast professionals are a little fucked up?
She was not. She was like a high
she wasn't
school
even in the
girl.
school. Oh, even better.
Have you ever seen the movie Fear?
Yes.
With Reese Witherspoon and Mark Wahlberg? He gives himself
We
a
call him Marky Mark.
Marky. That's right, because he was at that time. He was still Marky Mark, and it was the guy from one of those shows about murder. Like NCIS
Like
or
Law and Order?
CSI or one of those. Yeah, one of those things. But do you remember he carves the name Nicole into his chest and then uses like a Bic ink pen to give himself a prison tat? I remember seeing that movie. That movie came out like in 1994, putting me at right about 4th grade. And I remember renting that movie and watching it with the babysitter and having the babysitter turn to me and be like, now, just so you know, babyface, you should never do that. And I thought to myself, well, no shit. Obviously, this character, we've spent 90 minutes setting up that this character is nuts. He's just about to shove a dog's head through a doggy door. I don't think I'm going to emulate anything
Wait a minute.
that Marky Mark is doing.
You
in
were
that
how
movie.
old? You're about what grade?
I was in like 4th grade.
And your babysitter was letting you watch Fear.
My babysitter was so cool. I learned so much stuff. The second those Jerry Springer tapes, remember those tapes came out? I got to rent one of those. Oh, that was so awesome. I
I've
got to
heard that
see everything
too.
that was R-rated like in advance.
So do you remember in that movie where he also finger blasts Reese Witherspoon on the roller coaster?
While Wild Horses is playing in the background.
Because of that movie, last time I was in Disney World,
No!
we were on Expedition Everest, and I turned to my fiance and I was like, "Hey, remember the movie Fear?" And holy shit, did her face light up, and she just kind of pulled stuff to the side, and bam! That made for the best, like, on your way down roller coaster picture ever.
Oh,
like, one
man.
hand up, one hand somewhere else.
I love
good.
that Jack
That's a
has
good
no.
story to tell at the wedding.
I was saying, I love that Jack has no problem opening up on these podcasts whatsoever.
Oh, man.
Oh, so I bet
Good time.
our Burrito's parents are probably not so happy that she opens up on these podcasts the way she
No.
does. Are they going to listen to this one?
I don't think they'll listen anymore
Did they
after the
stop
last
after
one.
4? Yeah.
But it's so complimentary about you joining them in their sexcapades. Hey, here's a good question. Would you rather?
Yes, here it comes.
Would you rather?
Oh, before you do that, the kid is back for his elephant balloon.
Oh, hey Hunter, how's it going? Hey, Scratch, did you see Saggy Maggie anywhere?
Yeah, I actually, she gave me the balloon right here. We can hand this
here you
over.
go. Here you go, Hunter.
This is like an elephant.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Beat it.
Oh, man.
It's a worm. What do you expect?
Yeah, get used to disappointment, Hunter. Your life's going to be filled with it.
This looks like a big dick.
All right, so we had a little would you rather that you guys have been knocking back and forth.
Yeah. Would you rather? Now this is less like would you rather because I think either of these, any of us would say, oh yeah, thumbs up, I'll do that.
Let's
But
call
it's-
it Would You Survive?
Would you survive? Yeah. Or which would allow you to survive longer? If you drank nothing but Guinness beer, but you also took like a Centrum Silver, like a 1-a-day vitamin, multivitamin.
Why would any of us be taking a Centrum
Because
Silver?
Babyface recently got sponsored by Centrum Silver because most of my listening audience is 55 plus. By the way, the AARP is a wonderful organization
And
full of wonderful discounts.
Some of us weren't born in like 89, 90 like others in the room.
88.
Choose Centrum Silver.
Or, so a Guinness beer, that's all you can drink. That's the only sustenance you can have.
That
then
and a multivitamin.
Or beef jerky, and it could be of your own making. It could be a brand of beef jerky. You could change up the flavor all the time, whatever you want with this beef jerky. And then a single glass of water a day and a multivitamin. Now, Burrito and I have already discussed this at length and got into a really big fight just outside of Mandan about it. I'm interested in knowing what the rest of the panel thinks.
Okay, so it's either nothing but Guinness and a multivitamin or a glass of water and beef jerky. You're not pairing
And a
the
multivitamin.
And a multivitamin.
Okay, you're gonna pair
You
the
get a
multivitamin.
multivitamin in both, otherwise you're not surviving very long.
You're gonna die quick.
Yeah, you're missing some key
I
nutrients.
feel like it's going to be awfully salty, all that meat, and yet I think that your body needs something more than beer. So I would assume that the water and the beef jerky.
Okay, so that's what Scratch is going for.
Yeah.
How about you, Jack?
I would have to go with the beef jerky as well, just because Guinness is fucking disgusting.
Whoa.
Well, make it a three-way. I'm going with the beef jerky also. I absolutely cannot stand beer. I am not a beer drinker ever. So
You like Zima, right?
that's not beer.
It's coming back.
That's nothing.
So now I'm just going to throw this out there. I was the one who said you'd last longer on beef jerky. So I agree, gentlemen. High fives all around.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Burrito, tell them why you think you're right. And then I'll tell them why they are right.
I I don't know which one you would actually survive on longer, but I would rather do the beer one. Number one, I think that you would lose more weight on it. It's a diet plan that I've been thinking about for a while, right? Like, I have a beer belly, but like, would I have a beer belly still if I just stopped eating and
I call
just
it a beer
continued
belly.
with the drinking?
I've seen some pretty fat drunks.
Okay. Well,
You get all pudgy.
Although at the
when
end
I
of
put this to the test,
at the end of Leaving Las Vegas, Nick Cage was pretty skinny.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean,
drinking,
he was
like,
also
liquor and whiskey
Yeah,
and
and
stuff.
he was also with Elizabeth Shue the whole time, and they
He's
were
like working off that weight.
pounding a fist into a palm.
that's what they were doing the whole time.
So you're thinking if you're just drinking nothing but beer and you're not eating food, you wouldn't be getting the beer belly.
So, like, beef jerky is a great source of protein, but there's also protein in Guinness, and it has more carbs than beef jerky would, which is more energy, and it's a very nutritious beer as
But you'd
far
be
as
headachy
beer
and
goes.
sick a lot of the time, wouldn't
Guinness has a pretty low alcohol content, so
Do we know any dietitians that could
discuss this.
Look at the size of my belly. You think I know a lot of dietitians? A lot of people who are reaching out and being like,
I mean,
I'm
we
worried
could
about
reach
you.
out and actually ask the question.
Yeah,
but-
I tell you what, that's a great idea. If you think you know what the answer is, send send us an email attached to the account and let us know what you think. Now, I'm going to tell you why I think I'm right. So, I started on this saying, like, I think you could probably live for a while on beef jerky because eventually it's like being trapped on a desert island, right? You're just eating tree bark for sustenance. So you don't have to eat 20 pounds of beef jerky a day. You're just eating it whenever you get hungry, and it's something to kind of keep
life
fueling in your belly.
sustenance. Yeah.
Also, for me, if you drink Guinness, if you're drinking Guinness all the time as your meal, so even if you drink it 3 times a day, your liver would constantly be like, having to filter the alcohol. So parts of your body are getting less energy so that the liver can be the main area, like, working all the time. And that can't be good for you.
Some of us have trained our livers already, though,
Oh, yeah?
Some of our livers are used to this. And actually, drinking Guinness would be a break.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, God, this is so easy. It's so smooth.
We may actually be nearing the end of our time here at Hangers, but I know there was a couple of things that Jack wanted to bring up, and I don't know if you want to try and squeeze it into this podcast yet, or if you like the idea of saving it for another podcast. I know the Batman thing and the Punisher thing.
Let's speed up the audio. We'll just say whatever you
Okay.
want. We'll speed up the audio.
All right, so basically this week, super awesome news. If you love Daredevil Season 2, if you loved Frank Castle, if you love The Punisher is now getting his own spin-off series.
That's neat.
Thank you, Netflix.
DC, you're fucking up. Like, you gotta get shit right. So Punisher is getting his own Netflix series. The one thing that DC Comics is doing right, when they rebooted their continuity in the comic books a few years ago with the New 52, they had a run on Batman. They rebooted Batman. A writer by the name of Scott Snyder took over Batman. Phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Like the best run of Batman in like the last 20 years. That actually wrapped up this week. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, the artist, they did their final issue 51, and it was amazing. So if you're looking for 51 of the best Batman comics ever written, start reading those.
Do you really feel that strongly that you feel like it's one of the best runs of Batman? Seriously?
Yes.
Really?
Does it end with Batman going to see Batman versus Superman and being like, what the fuck?
It does. It does. Did you read it?
No, did it really?
No.
Oh.
He's like,
And we should point out Scott Snyder, no relation to Zack Snyder.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He can actually write,
Oh,
Scott Snyder.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, really good stuff. Like I said, it started out the original first few issues, like there was no Joker, no Riddler, no nothing, and everyone was like, who the hell is this new writer coming in, introducing some new characters that no one's going to give a shit about? And the characters that he introduced were the Court of Owls, which is like a kind of like an Illuminati type group that's essentially been around since the beginning of Gotham City, and he turned them into like one of the biggest threats Batman has ever faced, and like a good threat, not just like a villain of the week type thing. And then he did that again at near the end with another villain, just like totally new creation, amazing stuff. Go check it out. We can talk more about that some other time.
And speaking of Batman, the Killing Joke is getting
Yes.
the animated cartoon, which finally came out, that it will in fact be rated R, and I couldn't be more excited for that.
I'll bet you dollars to donuts we get a limited theatrical release on that. Even though they say it's going straight to Blu-ray, DVD, I think that they're going to release that thing in theaters because it looks so good. And it's possibly the last time you're going to hear Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill in their roles as Batman and the Joker.
Yeah, so everyone from the original Batman animated series is coming back to voice on this. So if you were a fan of that, and the animation for it, also the same people. So it looks very similar to the animated cartoon series, and of course the Killing Joke, one of the most famous Batman stories there is.
Cool. And DC looks like they're doing a few other things right. I mean, the new Suicide Squad looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time was going to tell on that one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think some of the trailers for Batman versus Superman look good.
This last Friday, Ozzy and Burrito and I went and saw Keanu with Key and Peele, and
Very good.
We loved it. We thought it was great. And I walked in after them. There were only 2 other people in the theater, and as I'm walking in, I can't see the screen, but I can hear the last. Stop till Brooklyn, and I was like, "Oh, it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer." And I
No
go,
sleep till Brooke.
No,
Yeah,
sleep
what the
till Brooklyn. I know. I need sleep. I think I've been doing pretty well.
Oh, I just fell asleep.
But I yelled I was like, this movie's gonna suck. And I walked in, and the 2 guys who had purchased tickets were unhappy. I had yelled that, but I'm glad Burrito and Ozzy were laughing.
Do you guys like Keanu? Funny movie?
Oh,
That was
very
good. I
funny.
just have a comment about it. The best part was because you were still in the hallway, so we couldn't see you. And all you hear is, and of course we start laughing, and the 2 guys sitting, a couple rows ahead of us, you could just see them shaking their head like, oh.
No, they're
gonna
gonna
be
be
one of
those
these.
people.
It's going to be one of these viewings. We got some loudmouth chucklehead. Well, thanks again to Harriet Honeybags Gunderson and her husband Lyle for being so hospitable to us here, the owners and proprietors of Hangers. We will be back again with episode 7. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scratch Masterson.
And I'm Babyface Nelson.
I'm Burrito Supreme.
I'm Superfan Ozzy.
And I'm Jack Spade.
Thank you for joining us for the Trigger Warning Fun Time Show. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we're elephants.
Shut the fuck up.